Hi, I'm Malene Rose.
And I'm Amanda Piedra, and welcome to BBN.
In tonight's top stories, we'll check out the new party rules for Miami Beach, find out what's really going on with our Miami Dolphins, and how much higher the Magic City's rents will rise. Can we really afford to stay?
Miami Beach residents enjoy living in a party metropolis, but in the past few spring breakers have taken the fun a little too far. Because of that, residents are now demanding action.
Annual events like Ultra and Spring Break are known for encouraging inappropriate behavior, but officials are designing ways on how to manage it. Some of the rules are targeting environmental issues such as littering, overcrowding, and noise pollution.
Well, I think that noise pollution is a big problem, especially in big cities like this, like where there's already a lot of infrastructure encroaching on the ecosystem.
Residents are welcoming the new rules that target cleaning up the waste left behind.
As a resident, it shows that the city is not being respected, so what the rule will imply will be a controlled maintenance and cleanliness to our environment, so it will be a great law to our city.
One of the main concerns is the lack of respect visitors have for the city.
You know, respect their space by not throwing your trash to the floor, by behaving properly.
Most locals are not against parties, but hope that 2020 brings a better approach to our party town.
Governor Ron DeSantis signed an extension to the Armed Guardian program, which allows teachers to carry guns in school classrooms. Karen Garcia and Soray Morgado spoke with teachers and students about their take on the effectiveness of the program.
3 weeks after the Guardian program extension was signed, teachers and students in Miami-Dade and Broward counties have expressed their concerns, arguing that they are the ones directly affected.
People who are really being affected by this are the students, and they fail to represent us. And at the end of the day, that's what governments are supposed to do. They're supposed to represent us, and for me, they didn't do that.
Sarah Lerner, who teaches at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas and survived the 2018 shooting, believes that the bill is irresponsible.
Honestly, the dumbest thing that could ever possibly happen. Giving me a handgun would not have helped me that day.
Anthony Dick, a FIU associate professor specialized in developmental psychology, explains the effects of school shootings among high school students.
Sort of school shootings and things that have happened, there's been an increase in childhood anxiety and one of the incidents of childhood anxiety. And one of the reasons why this might be the case is this overexposure to every day there's like a potential for a disaster to occur.
A survey conducted among Broward and Miami-Dade County high school students, 33.3% of the Broward students said they do not feel safe at school, and 21.9% Miami-Dade students said they do not feel safe at school. When asked if teachers carrying guns during school hours would make them feel safer, more than 90% of Broward students answered no, and more than 80% in Miami-Dade felt the same.
And just like I wouldn't expect law enforcement to come into my classroom and do my job well, I should not be expected to do their job well.
Though the Guardian program was created with student safety in mind, many students and teachers believe that putting guns in the hands of teachers may not be the answer.
In recent studies, Florida ranked #1 for the growth of women-owned businesses, and South Florida led the state. Reporter Tamara Casey highlights 2 local women entrepreneurs.
Over the years, Florida has ranked #1 in the nation for the growth of women-owned businesses. Today, we explore 2 women who began their own practices.
Take Maria Uwara, for example. She is a mother of 4 who started her own skincare and esthetician practice. She has been in business for 14 years, all while being a mother and a wife. I was inspired by my cousin who has a spot in Santo Domingo, and since I'm a mother of 4, I wanted something to do on my own time and dedicate time to my kids and also to work. A quaint salon located in Wynwood empowers its women to flourish through their own business.
I actually started doing hair when I was 14 years old, and I didn't start it off initially as a business. I really was just trying to get my own hair done because I was tired of my sister doing my hair because I didn't like the way that she did it. I've always had a lot of independence because I'm a hairstylist. Because I started at such a young age, I always had my own money. So I was able to come to Miami through being a hairstylist. I was able to carry myself through college through being a hairstylist. And then now I work in a salon in Wynwood, and I did my first music video not too long ago through being a hairstylist. And I just feel like because I do hair, I get connected and plugged in with a lot of people who otherwise I wouldn't have been able to meet.
From skincare to hair care to even music videos, women in Miami are embracing their businesses.
Miami residents are complaining about increased rent prices. Millennials, in particular, say they can't afford to pay rent on their own. Reporter Natalia Molina speaks to a real estate professional on why millennials are struggling.
Ranked as the 9th most expensive city to rent in the nation, Miami has seen its rent rise over the course of the last few years.
The reason why millennials, and that goes for everyone, are not able to buy or rent is because they don't know how to save.
According to the Federal Reserve, millennials have racked up over $1 trillion of debt, with a 22% increase in debt over the last 5 years, making them the most debt-filled generation.
Brickell has been a hustle, honestly. It just is hard to pay the bills. Rent is so expensive for a little room, and me, I have 3 jobs for me to be able to pay that rent. I mean, I came unconscious that I need to move, and I came about to move to like Little Havana, Pequeña Havana, which is like 3 times cheaper than Brickell.
A new study by Rent.com placed Brickell at the top of the county's rental cost increase, with an average rent of $2,700 for a 1-bedroom apartment, resulting in a 23.9% increase over last year.
A lot of jobs don't pay what they're supposed to. You know, you're either underpaid or you're overpaid, and you don't know how to save that money. So you don't know how to use it to be able to rent a higher apartment, or, I mean, Miami is expensive.
52% of millennials also can't qualify for a mortgage due to their debt-to-income ratio, Market Watch reported.
Brickell and the rest of downtown Miami depend on an influx of young professionals who work in the area and want to take advantage of shops, restaurants, and bars. Young individuals look forward to finding a location where it is very close to businesses and very affordable. Olivia Napoles reporting live, BBN.
Startup FIU is a university-wide program that fosters innovation and entrepreneurship. One of the 3 programs they offer is Startup FIU Food, which provides local food entrepreneurs with tools to make their business flourish.
Startup FIU provides local food entrepreneurs with the resources needed to run a business. The program was created with the help of a $500,000 grant from City Foundation. The program is not targeted towards small businesses who are financially stable. Instead, it focuses on helping businesses who don't have the resources to expand.
They are small businesses that have the money to go buy their own space. They have the ability to buy their own office space, they can do business in that space, and they function. And then there are the businesses that don't have that kind of capital and they need help. So FIU has opened up its actual kitchen space and its resources so that small businesses can share the space so that they can function in doing business.
From the starting stages of prepping their products in the provided kitchen space to the final stages of pitching their business to investors, entrepreneurs and their employees have all the tools necessary to help their businesses flourish.
We had an event that was for investors to see the different companies, and we would pitch our business ideas to them, let them sample our items, and basically just market ourselves.
The program also offers 6 months of workshops tailored to the food industry and coaching sessions with finance experts.
Well, through this organization, they have really inspired us to want to do better. We're getting one-on-one service, financial aspects of it, legal aspects of owning a business, and how important it is to make sure you have those things in order before you even start a business.
The Startup FIU Food program's next goal is to partner with other cities who have similar interests by 2020.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Jasmine Abreu and Kelsey Tavares are investigating why the state seems to be failing the mentally ill and their families.
The 1971 Baker Act is a law which allows the state to hold someone who's been deemed a danger to others or themselves for up to 3 days. And even then, the law that was created to help sometimes fails them.
Natasha Velez has been on the receiving end as a family member to someone who was Baker Acted. To be the next of kin to a once Baker Acted person, you have to be good at understanding, even when the system designed to help isn't providing any answers.
Here are your visiting hours. This is when you can come, and this is when you can leave. And that isolates my family members. It's like you're isolating the people they love, and all I want to do is just understand what's going on. But I don't have anyone to mediate between my question and what I want as an answer. So it was very difficult.
Her sister and her mother were both Baker acted at different times after threatening to severely hurt themselves. Natasha knows that other families also feel helpless. No government agency followed up with Natasha, her mother, or her sister after they were released. Sarah Hawk has also been a victim. After she threatened to hurt herself, she was Baker acted and held for 8 days before being released. Then she did not receive any more follow-up.
I was trying to leave this environment, and then I'm put back into it. And I remember I was very scared when I got out the first day. I just felt confused, and I felt like I had gotten out of prison after 10 years. Like, I just felt like it was just too much all at once. And yeah, the doctor wasn't there to check up on me. Like, he wasn't, a part of my life anymore after that. He wasn't legally obliged to be my doctor, so that's why he never was able to talk to my doctor, renew my meds or anything like that.
According to the Department of Children and Families labor statistics data, Florida's per-person spending on mental health and drug treatment has dropped by nearly 1/3 since 2000 when adjusted for inflation. Natasha Velez knows there are hundreds of families who would give anything to know how to help their mentally ill loved one after they were held against their will. These victims are still waiting for the resources.
Definitely always ask why and be there.
Jasmine Abreu, BBN, Miami, Florida.
Fans refused to sympathize with the prediction of many NFL experts that the Miami Dolphins will be the worst team in the league. Sports reporter Wesley Verdier has the inside scoop.
The Dolphins are going through what sports experts call a rebuilding process, or what's known as tanking.
Tanking is the act of a team, basically when they partake in the action of losing for the sake of having a higher probability of attaining better assets.
In other words, teams with losing records have higher chances of getting some of the best college athletes, due in most part to tanking.
Normally, tanking process, it takes around 3 to 4 years for a team to actually see dividends to it. So hopefully around that time, we'll be in a much better position to compete.
Members of the organization were disappointed with the direction the team was headed, so they decided to change things up.
Well, unfortunately, the Miami Dolphins, we haven't been doing so well as an organization for like the last 10 years. We haven't made the playoffs in the last 10 years. However, we did bring in a new coach. His name is Brian Flores. He came from the New England Patriots. He brought 3 of his assistants as well. He's trying to change the culture around here. A lot of the times, their opposing fans sometimes do fill up our stadiums instead of our hometown fans. But again, we're trying to change that. We're trying to become a better team, a better organization, so more fans can come out and see us and support us.
But not all fans are expecting the Miami Dolphins to tank next season. Others still have high expectations in the changes made within the coaching staff.
Because our new head coach Flores doesn't believe in tanking. He doesn't believe in laying down and just letting people beat us. So his expectation is we're gonna come in this year and win as many games as possible. Because he come from New England Patriots, the most dominant organization in the last couple of years. So him tanking, that's not in his blood. That's not what he want to do.
The Dolphins signed first-year head coach Brian Flores to take control of the team for the next 5 years. This has been Wesley Verdier reporting from BBN.
Well, that's great and all, but the only football I care about is soccer.
You're completely right. When does Beckham get here again?
Who knows? Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Right here on BBN.